My name is Donald McQueen, and I am a bibliographer. I'm here in my lodgings at Timor Mortis College in Noxford, in lockdown at the moment. And I have decided to tell you a little bit about Noxford, for those who do not know the city, or its ancient university, which really is the city. The bulk of the population of Noxford exists only to service the university, its various and nefarious departments, faculties, colleges, halls, museums, galleries, publishing house, cathedral, vegetarian discotheque, and cage-fighting arena. Since the collapse of the chocolate biscuit industry in England, the city has had no other product than the worthy scholar, the chinless moron, and the political Narcissus. The power of the university is absolute, but wielded by creatures of such stupidity and cringing self-interest that to liken them to a parliament of monkeys would be grossly unfair to monkeys. The city's architecture is remarkable for its beauty, and for the fact that many of its bell towers and steeples have been built, quite intentionally it seems, at an angle of about 7 degrees from the vertical, or slightly twisted in the horizontal plane. For this reason, Noxford is known, from a poem by Dandy Gartside of 1814, as the city of leaning spires. There have been several campaigns to straighten the leaning spires of Noxford, but all of them have failed, for the university seems to see its bent and twisted towers as symbols of its bent and twisted soul. The university is divided into 34 separate colleges and private halls. Some I've mentioned already. Timor Mortis is, in my view, the greatest of the colleges, though each naturally has claims to some distinction of antiquity, intellectual gravity, magnitude, wealth, depth below sea level, height above sea level, exclusivity, texture, or odour. The origins of the names of many of the medieval colleges, of which Timor Mortis is one, are sometimes obscure, while the newer colleges tend to be named after their founders, major benefactors or sponsors, the saints to which they are dedicated, some aspect of their buildings or location, or characters from Star Wars. Chewbacca College is now well established and respected, while Jar Jar Binks has proved an embarrassing failure. I've already mentioned some of the most famous colleges. St. Frederick's is now my brother's home, and Ray Winston Hall was his alma mater. The colleges of Noxford are sometimes arranged light-heartedly into groups. 6 of the finest are known as the Biscuit Colleges, for being named after biscuits. These are Bourbon College, not to be confused with Bourbon College, Cambridge, which is spelt the same way but pronounced differently, and is indeed named after a different biscuit. Oreo, Florentine, Parkin, Battenberg, Jammy Dodger. Parkin possibly, and Battenberg certainly, are really cakes, of course, and should not, strictly speaking, be counted among the biscuits. The saintly colleges are St. Frederick's, St. Lancelot's, St. John's, St. Theodora's, St. Onan's, and St. Ivel. Then there are the naughty colleges, whose names some childish individuals have seen as containing a double entendre, quite invisible to the pure of mind. These are Prince Albert, John Thomas, Lady Garden, Longhampton, Braesnob, Merkin, Black Nobler, and Mons Veneris. All, of course, perfectly innocuous names, some of great antiquity. 4 colleges vie for the title of the oldest. My own, Timor Mortis, has the best claim, but incredibly recent college was also founded in the 13th century, when it was given its name, as were Braesnob and Crackakack, the last being so obscure a name that to this day the college authorities cannot agree even which language it derives from. This leaves only a handful of the newer colleges, all founded since 1800 and mostly beneath contempt. These are Windrush, Midas, Shakenvac, Green Pyramid, All Saints, Clarkson, Gordon Bennett, and Henry Hoover. The last, not, as you might think, named after the successful vacuum cleaner, but after the college's American co-founders, Charlton Henry and Grover Hoover. The only other educational arm of the university worthy of note is the Department of Senile and Anile Enlightenment at Unruly House, of which I am, of course, a fellow. The same and similar college names are to be found around the world, and notably in the city which is Noxford's only real rival for its antiquity and balance of magisterial wisdom and supreme stupidity. I speak, of course, of Cambridge, which also has a St. John's, a Battenberg, an All Saints, and a Black Nobler, but in each case it was the Noxford institution which came first, and the Cambridge which was copied from it. America is, of course, rich with universities which have copied their names from Noxford, so that there is hardly a state without its own Merkin, Midas, or indeed Timor Mortis. When I was a young and thrusting bibliographer, newly graduated from this very college, one of my ambitions was to found a new Noxford College, which would specialize in the study of the book. I thought long and hard about what it should be called. Bradshaw, perhaps, or Gaskell Hall. In moments of levity, I considered both Ides Asinorum and Queenie's College, but I could never make up my mind, and today, if such an opportunity arose, I think I should name my college after my beloved cat. Not Doggerel, that would be absurd, but his predecessor in the throne of my lap, whose name was Minerva. Minerva College. It has a certain ring, and the right overtones and undertones, but what it really represents is a beautiful chocolate-coloured cat, and the beautiful chocolate-coloured woman after whom the cat was named, my first and only love, Minerva Columba. The sweet dove, perhaps one day I will tell you of Minerva. The cat which bore her name was very like her, but unlike the goddess from which they both derived, albeit Minerva the cat did once eat an owl. I hear the great bell, enormous wang, in the tower of Timor Mortis College, calling me to dinner. It is time to dine.